Hello everyone, this is our second video about life in the Middle Ages. We said in the previous video that the church had an important role and it also contributed to the development of art. We should now also remember that the church filled the void in the education system too and developed an education system based on religious purposes. So monasteries and convents became centers for learning, centers of education. However, it was basically the privileged people who were able to receive a thorough education, and women's education was not a priority at the time, as women were considered to be less intelligent than men. The church encouraged traveling too and encouraged people to make pilgrimages, in particular, pilgrimages to special places called shrines, as it was believed that if you prayed at these shrines, you might be forgiven your sins. Some people went on a pilgrimage hoping to be cured from an illness. The most popular shrine was the tomb of Thomas Becket at Canterbury Cathedral, as you know. Traveling on long journeys was a dangerous activity at the time, and this is why pilgrims often went in groups to protect themselves against the outlaws. The wealthy ones paid others to go on a pilgrimage for them. The social system we call feudal system, as you remember, is like a pyramid, we said, with the king at the top. The king gave lands to noblemen and bishops, and at the bottom of this pyramid, the serfs worked the land with no rights at all. In exchange, they could live on the land and were promised protection in case of enemy invasion. With the agricultural innovations which took place in the 11th century, life started to change though. For example, the heavy plow and crop rotations were used, and this made farming more productive and the supply for food increased. The result was that fewer workers were needed and the population grew because of this improvement in food supply. So more and more people were drawn to towns and cities. Commerce developed too, and port cities in particular thrived, prospered. Unfortunately, between 1347 and 1350, a mysterious disease killed 30% of the continent's population. It was called the Black Death, and it was a terrible epidemic. Some people believed it was a divine punishment for their sins and became flagellants. Others, unfortunately, turned on their neighbors, purging people they believed to be heretics, thus responsible for the tragedy of the Black Death. This is the reason why thousands of Jews were murdered and others had to escape, others fled to the less populated areas of Eastern Europe.